Well, the sun's shining, so here we go again. What's up, guys? So this video is being shot during my work on the pop top. Now, you'll have already seen these videos by the time this one comes out, but I'm kind of stuck waiting on a few things. There's a jet flying over. I'm kind of stuck waiting on a few things, so I'm trying to figure out where I'm going to go with this next. So obviously you can see there I have stuck the rear bumper on. Mainly I just wanted it up and out of the way just so that it's safe. And I was just looking at it there, it's I never noticed it's got a slight curve in it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where to go next. Yeah, up front here, I've stuck the badge on. It's not sitting flat. I need to have a bit play with that. But I'm just putting stuff on to get it out of the way so that it's not laying around and not getting lost. But I think today I'm gonna pull the interior out, like the bed, the cupboards and all of that. Really get a good feel for what's going on with them. Obviously at the moment a lot of this is just trying to keep things rolling along. I don't want to lose momentum. I've lost too much momentum on this past year. I've had several between the weather and just other things that have been going on. So what I'm trying to do is if there's jobs I can do, I want to get them done. So I figure the easiest thing for today, at least anyway, is just get an idea of what I've got. I've never really gone through like the interior panels and everything here, and honestly I don't know what I've got and what I'm going to need. So I think that's a good place to start. So got one cabinet over here. This is a rock and roll bed, and this is where the stove and everything fits into. Not entirely sure what this bit down here is for, because the stove itself is laying down there, and it's just a unit that just sits on top of a counter, so it's not actually built in. So unless this is for gas bottle. I don't know if I've actually mentioned this or not, but I'm seriously considering going just all electric in the van. So a big what do they call them, the life pod batteries, and a power inverter, and one of the little impedance cooktops, so that there's just no gas whatsoever. I am putting mains into the van. It will have a mains hookup, so that is one thing. But yeah, I don't really want to mess about with gas. I did it in the Transit, and honestly it's a pain. And this is probably going to be more a weekend van. It's not going to be, I don't expect it being used for like heading off across the continent or something like that. So I think an impedance hob is definitely the way to go. The sink's in here somewhere as well. There's a water container down there which came with the van, but it's not like original to it or anything. But all of that I'll figure out. I may actually do like I did with the Transit, just do on board water. But I don't know yet. That's stuff to still figure out. I mean, there should be plenty of space underneath the van to do that. So, you know, that is a potential, but we'll figure that out when we get there. Yeah, just taking a good look at this cabinet. It's had some let's just say abuse. I just realised I never really paid that much. This is the first time I really looked closely at them, and it looks like there's been a huge section just hacked out of here. And I'm assuming that it was more like that there originally, but yeah, somebody's hacked a big chunk out of this here, because you can see it's all just uneven and obviously it's rotten down there. So I'm probably going to remake this cabinet. I mean, I'll use this as a template, but I think this cabinet has just well, it's at the end of its days. I've got a lot of wood here that I have been saving just in case I needed to do this. Also, I've got the big sheets of ply and everything. So, but yeah, I just wanted to just get a real handle on this. Anyway, I'm going to drag it all the way out and then set it inside the van so I can just basically figure out where it goes. There we go, that appears to be where it goes. Huh. But yeah, this is in really bad shape. The interior of the cabinet's okay, but the exterior, yeah. So that lifts up. Okay, that would be a broken window. So that, right, I'm assuming down there is where the gas bottle would have originally went. Yeah, like I say, I assumed this would have went over there, but obviously it doesn't. So, interesting. So that means I need to, yeah, because I'd kind of assumed the cabinets would go down this side, because a lot of the ones I've seen, that's kind of how they're set up. The cabinets are on this side, and the bed is here. But, interesting. So, oh yeah, there's room there for the spare wheel. I was just checking that. So, let's get the bed out and we'll figure where that goes. And then there's a seat, which I assume just like goes here or something. Let's get the bed out anyway, and I'll figure it all out. I'm glad I've actually done this. I'm glad I've actually done this, because what I was thinking does not align with the reality. So let's get the bed out. So a lot of this is actually in reasonable condition. Some of it isn't. Obviously these two bits are a bit scabby, so they'll definitely get replaced. These side bits are okay. They are hidden, so, but this front section's just scabby as well. So yeah, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it in place first of all, because like I said, I want to get a handle on where this all goes. So I've got an idea of what's what and where and how and all of that. But yeah, looking at it, I think maybe that bit and that bit are the only two bits of wood that I'll actually save out of this. The rest of it, I think it'll just go in the burn pile. Okay, I do believe that's how she goes together. Obviously everything's really ugly at the moment, but it isn't a huge amount of work, to be honest, in actually refurbishing some of these. Like I said, some of it will get refurbished, some of it will be just replaced. Like so these, the backs of the seat and everything, the front of it there, I'll replace all of that. This little, I assume it's a seat, that I'll just refurbish. The box itself's actually in really good condition, it's just ugly. And the top, I'll probably redo the top. The top's a bit, yeah. But yeah, overall, it's okay. I mean, it's 74. I mean, it ain't exactly a spring chicken, so, but No, I can live with this. This is not too bad. So I've had a cup of coffee, been spending a bit of time just getting to grips with how other people have put these interiors together, and there really doesn't seem to be a standard layout. I've looked at multiple Devon photos, and every single one is slightly different, although the stove being over there does seem to be consistent. A lot of them do have small refrigerators in the end here, and some of them have a seat there and a seat here, some of them just have a seat there. It's very confusing. So I think basically it's just comes down to just put it together how I see fit. So I think for the rest of the day all I'm going to do is I'm going to put these away. I'm not going to do any of the woodwork on these cabinets for the time being. Same with that one there. What I am going to do though is I'm going to strip all the wood off this metal frame and just spend the rest of the day just cleaning the frame up and hopefully get it painted, and then we'll figure the rest of it out tomorrow. Hopefully I'll have the rest of the stuff by the end of the day for the pop top, so I can get back on with that. But if not, tomorrow I'll probably just start working on some of this. Okay, I'm on taking this apart, and I was looking in there trying to figure out what on earth this is, but I realised this is actually a door, and I guess it's meant to be a cool box. This can't be a fridge, surely. I mean, obviously that went into there. I think this is just meant to be like a cool box. That I think is a water pump. Definitely a water pump, yeah. I'm sure if it still works or not, but yeah, I think this is just meant to be a little cool box, but I think what I'll probably end up doing is I'll put a proper fridge in here. Obviously the sink goes up there. Huh. Interesting. Anyway, that's not getting this done. Yeah, this is in pretty bad shape. I mean, it wasn't until I went to actually lift it and I accidentally pulled on this and it popped out. I thought it was just broken, to be honest. But yeah, I'll probably completely redo this cabinet. Yeah. Anyway, let's get it removed. So just trying the bed. I'm not entirely sure how this mechanism goes, but it falls down to that point all right. It just doesn't stay there. I'm wondering if there's meant to be something on the back that latches it into place. Because if you stick your butt on this end, you're going to end up on the floor. Yeah, still a lot of figuring to do with this. There we go. Yeah, these just fold down and sit on there, and then that gives it support. Obviously, she's not bolted down at the back sides yet, so she does move, but yeah, I just noticed that there. I wonder what that's for. First thought was, I wonder if it's a lap belt. Ah, I wonder if this is how the lap belts. Because that would put it right in about the centre of the van, wouldn't it? Huh. Which means you could carry passengers in the rear. I mean, technically you can carry passengers in the UK in an older vehicle like this in the back. And they only have to have seatbelts if seatbelts were originally fitted. And if they are fitted, then they've got to comply with whatever regulations were prevalent at that particular time. But yeah, more investigation needed. So one thing I have decided to do is this rivet here, I am going to remove it because it's a lot of play in it, and everything else has got nuts and bolts in, so I can just put a nut and bolt back in there. Plus it means I can get both sides of this nice and clean. Same with all this. Okay, there's the first part dismantled. I've just got this front section to do now. The wooden pieces, I'm not cutting any of them just yet. I'm going to put those away. But like I say, the main thing, I just want to get this frame done. We'll get it all nicely tidied up, get it painted, and yeah, that should be probably bring this day to a close. Well, there we go, it's all dismantled. So get all these wooden bits put away, and there, yeah, we'll come back to this and just start sanding and painting. Exciting. Okay, there we go, got it all nicely sanded now. I'm going to give it a coat of rust neutralizer, let it sit, let that flash off, wipe it down, then we'll hit it with some etch primer, and I'm just going to do it flat black. I'm not going to mess about doing it white or anything like that. I think flat black will suit this just nicely, and then we'll move on to that one down there. Oh, we're getting there. Got that one all primed, got two of the bars done, and I've got the backrest now done. Wants a second coat, but basically it's done. So I'm just moving on now to the most difficult part, which is that one down there. It's not difficult, it's awkward. I think that's a better way of phrasing it. It's just got lots of little nooks and crannies and what have you, so it's just going to take a little bit longer. Got those bars down there still to do, but I've got that rivet to drill out. So it's weird, it turns, and I've ground both ends off it, but it will just not punch out, so I'll just drill it and get it out that way. Well, we are moving along, got this almost stripped down. Thankfully this actually, it just punches out, so I am able to get into all the little nooks and crannies. I'm going to flip this over momentarily. There's a couple of bits on the underside I want to shoot, and then that's ready for flat black. Obviously I think I've already pointed out I've done the brackets, but yeah, it's just coming along quite well. Only thing I've hit a snag with, I'm running out of etch primer, so it's too late to run into town now, but I'll run in first thing in the morning, get the etch primer, and then we'll get all of this finished, and then this can just be stored away for the time being. Okay, so that's it for tonight. Yeah. Just going to pack up, get tidied up, and then we'll get back to this tomorrow when I've got some etch primer to finish this off, and then, like I say, we'll get it all reassembled, put it away, and then that's another job complete for the time being. Okay, if you can hear me over the jets, yeah, they're practicing again, ready for when Putin invades. I did continue last night, just set up a couple of lights out here and the lights in the garage, and just got everything painted, so that this morning all I had to do was just get up and just reassemble it all. I did actually take some photographs before I disassembled it, just so that I knew how it went back together, because, you know, been there before. I think they're doing beach landings here. Just kick the thinners over, don't want to do that. Thankfully it was sealed. Anyway, let's just start assembling this. We'll ignore the jets, and yeah. Material for this still has not arrived. Let's just say I'm annoyed. It's actually been it's going to be difficult with these jets today, but it's actually been a week since I ordered it, and I'm completely stuck on this at the moment until it arrives. So anyway, let's just get this seat put together, then I might look at possibly cutting the ply and everything. Oh no, I can't, because I need the ply to set the table up to finish this up. Yeah, it's going to be one of those days. I can feel it, it's starting. I'm noticing a couple of bits that I have missed. There's a bit there, and I just saw a bit over here somewhere. bit there, but I'll get it together and then I can just, and there's a bit there as well. It was dark, I just wanted to get as much painting done as I could, so yeah, let's just get it assembled and then I can go and touch it up. Okay, basic mechanism here, that and that line up and then that goes on there. I do apologise about these jets, there's nothing I can do about it. I live right next to a bomb range and these past few weeks, like I said, I think they're getting ready for Putin because there's been a lot of activity. Anyway, that aside, you know, let's just concentrate on this. But yeah, basically these two holes here will go together. That's where the rivet was, and then that one onto there, do both sides and then we'll move on to the rest. Okay, so now that we can actually hear ourselves think, what I've started doing is, before I actually put all this together, I am greasing all of these joints, and then once they're bolted together, then that should should keep them good for the upcoming years. And I'm going to paint that. Then what I'll do is I'll pop this back off again, I'll grease behind, and then it's just going to keep everything in good working order. I mean, it's lasted this long, so a little bit of extra time here now I think is, you know, I'd like to see this van outlast me, to be honest. It's I like when you restore a vehicle, I like to know that it's going to be passed on down the generations. A couple of my other vehicles, Mark 1 Ford Granada that I did many years ago, that is still pounding the streets today. It's actually in Johannesburg, and the guy that bought it, he's passing it on to his son, so I'd like to think something like that was going to happen to this. So yeah, anyway, let's just get on with things. Okay, jets have stopped now, but the wind's getting up, so the tent's blowing, but I hope you can hear me. So what I've done is I've got the first, this is where the rivets were. I'm going to just trim these ends off. I got nylocks on them, of course, and it just got a nice bit of movement there. I have greased everything as well, so that's going to last a long time. It's this won't need any servicing for many decades to come, hopefully. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the big frame section, sit that on here, and then we'll just get the rest of it put together, and yeah, figure out what I'm going to do from there. Like I said, ideally it would be nice if I could start cutting the wood today, but I need this 4x8 sheet of ply, because I need to finish this roof section off before I cut that up, because I do actually need to use that as a workbench. So it's one of those kind of catch-22 situations. I have heard back from the company on the material. I think they've forgotten to ship it, because I've just gotten a tracking number for it today, and I ordered it last week. It's basically, it's a week today since I ordered it. I was just looking at the order sheet there, and so I've just gotten a tracking number this morning. Yeah, perfect. That is perfect. So I think I'm going to do these little ones first, because again, the edge of this is all mangled, and honestly I don't know if this is the way it was originally cut or whether it's just gotten damaged over time. But see, that piece of trim there does extend beyond this edge, so because I was wondering if it should have been like that. Yes. So if I do these first, and then I can actually get the frame assembled, and then figure this one out. So somebody coming down the drive there, but yeah, so I think that's going to be the way to go. Okay, there's the first bit cut. Now, I actually straightened this edge up, because I'm not sure, I think that was probably straight there and it's just gotten beaten off, so I have straightened it It's easy to shave that off if I'm wrong, but yeah, so let's get the other one cut and we'll get these drilled and fitted. Okay, so now have these cut. I may need to round these corners off a little bit more, but at the moment that'll do for now. Obviously the jet's back. I guess he just took a lunch break. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this over to the frame and I'm going to just drill everything out and start putting this together, and then we'll figure out this front section, because I will be able to sit it inside the van then, and then we'll take it from there. Hopefully you'll be able to hear me then. Okay, so we've got that one on. I'm going to do the same on this side, and yeah, we'll take it from there. What I might do is I might sit it in the van, but we'll figure that out in a moment. Okay, so I've basically got it bolted together there. Everything's still a bit loose, because what I'm going to do, obviously that's a bit cattywampus and all of that, but what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to lift it into the van and then sit it in place, then tighten everything up, and then I know it's basically where it should be. Okay, that's looking better. I know it's still not straight on this edge here, but where it bolts in over there, when I get it bolted in over here, I do have to tweak it just slightly to pull that like that, so that should pull that section in. It's just sprung in a little bit, that's all. So let's figure out this front piece now. Like I say, I think, well, basically I'm trying to figure out how that front there corresponds with this, and if that corner where we at, if this has just been hacked like that by the factory, or it's something's just happened to it and it's gone. I'm leaning towards something's happened to it, because like I say, that piece of trim goes all the way to the end there, so at the very least I think there should have been a piece here, you know, kind of like just there, so to speak. But we'll lift this in and we'll just see what we can figure out. I mean, how hard can it be? Okay, so we've got that sitting in place, and that does seem to be cut to the contour of the van, and then it goes straight up there, and that is that corner missing. So I might actually just enlarge that corner just a hint, because like, it's easy to shave it off when I actually get the pudding panel, the interior panel work in. It's not so easy to add it back on again, so I'll probably put half an inch on that edge just to be sure. But otherwise it's going to work fine there. So yeah, I'm going to be very happy with this. I feel it in my bones. Okay, there we go. So it's got these. I want to make sure it fits first, and then I'll tidy all the edges up. But yeah, basically wasn't too bad. So I'm going to lay this over the top, get the bolt holes and everything, because it's not too bad on this. They're all pretty okay. So yeah, I'll lay that over the top, get those drilled, and then we'll pop it on and just see what happens. So one thing I am noticing, once I've got these ends tightened up, it has put a bow in it, and I did notice that in the original one, but I just assumed it was water damage. But no, it's these ends, they must not quite be right angles, so I think I'll loosen them off, and I might go ahead. I think I've got some more quarter bolts. If I have, what I'll do is I'll go ahead and drill and fit them to the bottoms, and I might just put spacers on these ends, you know, just to space it a little bit. Then again, I was going to put a gap down there, isn't it? Yeah, let's get it bolted along the bottom first, and then we'll figure out from there. So yeah, that bracket is not a right angle. That's okay though. It is going to be pulled up nice and tight there, so we're not going to have a gap. So what I'll probably do is I'll get it bolted along the bottom there, and then I'll just put a spacer or something in there so I can nip it up without it putting tension on the board. because over time it will warp and it'll look hideous, and I don't want that. I don't want it to do that. So I am probably going to cover this as well. So this will all come apart again at some point, but not today. Yeah, I'm not entirely sure what colour I'm going to do it. Whether I'm going to do it with the like carpet or with actual vinyl. I'm leaning towards the vinyl, but that may change. You know, it's I've used the carpet before, and it does really look nice in the vehicles. So I don't know. I will see. That's a bridge I'll burn when I get there. But yeah, I don't want it. I don't want this putting tension on like that, so that it ends up warped in the middle. But let's see if I've got any more coach bolts anyway, and if I have, I'll put them in, put some spacers in there, and then we'll probably call it a day. There we go. Yeah, the metalwork is welded in slightly differently on either side, so I've got 3 spacers there. Obviously I've got those 2 bolted there, but I've only had to use 2 on this side, so it's fine. It'll work good. It's not going to warp, and yeah. So I think I'm going to get this into the shed, touch up these little bits of paint. But yeah, it's basically a good place to bring this video to a close. Obviously, I would like to do these bases, the backrest and the butt base, but that ain't going to happen today. But yeah, it's come along great. I'm really happy with how this turned out. Now, obviously, there are some bolts to be sliced off that one there. This is actually where the rivet was. Same on that side. These are actually transit bolts. These are Ford bolts. I don't remember what they're off, but it was amongst my box of bolts that I took out, that I just kept when I was working on the Transit. But they work great. I mean, they're not threaded all the way up, so there is actually like a shank, like a spindle there. So I've basically taken it up to the end of the thread, so I will whip that off. But like I said, when I come to cover this, this will have to be dismantled again. So predominantly this front panel will have to come off, and maybe one of these side panels, because the other one's obviously going to be up against the side of the van. So I've just left all of the bolts long for the time being, and I'll deal with that when I actually come to covering it and putting it in the van. But yeah, so there we go. Another project. Oops, trying not to fall over. Another project almost completed. Hey, fantastic time. I've just done the outro, and the fabric has arrived for that roof. So hey, this could not have worked out better. Take care.